it's not an emergency, call a non-emergency. I'm more of an ongoing problem solver person. So, I just want to say that I'm not an expert on hotel security. I've seen 5 years worth of incidents at hotels, and I can only draw on my own experience. If I don't touch on something you've seen, you've experienced, questions you have, interrupt me and let me know, run it by me. And if I don't have the perfect answer for you now, I'll definitely get it to you. I just want to touch on two things that have happened near this area that does relate to you, everybody in this room. At Green Bay in Washington, there's a Motel 6, and what happened was two male blacks entered the building at about 12:20 a.m. They jumped over the counter and they stuck a gun in the clerk's face, demanded money. What happened was the clerk was a little resistant to it, which I'll touch on, and the two bad guys ran eastbound from the location. And then, there was also an incident at...
When did that happen?
That was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Okay. And there was also an incident at the Crosslands. We all know where that is, the Crosslands Hotel. Two male blacks. They're actually in their 20s, early 20s. They were in the laundry room trying to pry open a vending machine with a crowbar. A guest saw them. A guest tried to barricade them in through the glass door, which I also don't recommend. This one male black subject pulled the gun from his waistband, aimed it at the person, squeezed the trigger 3 times, the gun didn't fire. I don't know if it was jammed or if there were no bullets at all in it, but they left in a red 2-door car with possibly a spoiler on the back. And my recommendation is if you see a similar car, 2 subjects inside, you feel that their actions of driving around the lot, driving around the Fountain Square area are suspicious, I don't mind you, I recommend calling the police and having that car identified. If they do have business within the Fountain Square area, that way we know they're supposed to be here and they don't get hassled, but if they're not supposed to be here, they are carrying a gun, they're getting pretty brave with it, and I don't want them to get stupid with it, like even more stupid than they are.
Do you think it's the same people?
I do. I really do. I can't base that off of anything more than the descriptions, the motive, one person having a gun, handgun, similarly described handgun, and kind of the locations they're hitting, 2 hotels. It's an awful big coincidence if it's not. So I'm going to say it is, and all we have is this car, unfortunately. No license plate and nothing more than that. So I'm going to get into some things related to just basic employee safety. If I don't cover something, if you have a question, let me know, okay? Because I'm definitely not an expert. I would say that always a good thing is to stay in the light, inside, well-lit hallways, well-lit parking lot. If there's a light out, tell me. I'll see if the city fixes it or if it's you guys. Just let somebody know, hey, there's a light out in the parking lot. That could be a big thing as you're walking in your car. I would carry a flashlight on me at all times. Walking, if you're doing your rounds, if you're at the front desk, I would just carry a flashlight on me at all times. It's good for, if there's a fire, you can see through the smoke. It's good to just have your own source of light. And I'm not asking you to carry a million things. If it's not feasible, it's not the end of the world not to carry a flashlight. That's just my biggest recommendation. It's just a small little flashlight. You can see your way down the hallway. You can see yourself through the parking lot. And then also maintain connection with the outside world, which I mean is, carry a phone on you as you're doing your rounds. Be near a phone at all times. I know the Holiday Inn, I learned yesterday, has a panic switch they carry with them too. Silent alarm, that's good too.
They carry it around?
They carry it around as they do their rounds, they told me yesterday. It was interesting to know that. I had no idea that you could do that. Yeah, they carry a little switch with them they can press that'll send an alarm to us.
Goes right to you guys?
That's what Mr. Civita made it seem like. I'm gonna have to really double check, but I assume that's where all alarms go, is right to the police station. I don't know what kind of alarm it would be. We get hold-up alarms, we get general burglar alarms, so I have not heard a hotel alarm go off in my time. So I do need to learn what would happen, what our response would be to that. My next thing is kind of the thing I touched on, about our subjects in the red car. Just know your surroundings, know your guests, know who's coming in with your guests. Maintain an eye on the parking lot, and if something looks out of sorts, I don't want you going out there and getting in a confrontation. You can call us, okay? You can call 911, you can call non-emergency, and get us out here. And I'll be the first to admit our response time isn't what it should be. And we need more police officers, but I'm not making an excuse. The more we're out here, we have a formula on how to allocate police officers. The more we're called out here, the more officers we can have in this area. The reason why there's only one officer for this area is because there's not a lot of calls out here compared to the rest of Waukegan. So if something looks out of sorts, there's a subject in a car, you haven't seen him come in with a guest, the car doesn't, if you guys register cars here, like I had to do, and I stay at a hotel, give me your license plate number. If it's not one of your matches, call us, and we'll see what's up with them. If we don't know what happened at Brunswick, I'm not blaming the gentleman who was shot. He was bringing a money bag outside. He was accosted by 4 people in a van, 3 people and the getaway driver in the van. If he was looking outside and say, hey, that van doesn't look like it belongs here, maybe I'll take my chances, maybe I won't. If you call us, those bad guys see us, what happened wouldn't have happened. And I'm not blaming him at all. I just do want you to be aware of your surroundings. He was being watched. They knew he was going to walk out with that money. They knew where he was going to walk out with that money. And if he had maintained an eye, it could have been prevented. And I do want you folks, if you can, to vary your routines as much as you can. If you can park at a different spot, walk into a different door, leave from a different door, because again, to bring him up, he was being watched. They knew where he would be, when he would be there, and it's unnerving to think that people are watching us, and I don't know if they are. They don't know any better. They think a hotel. They don't know that a lot of your payments are through credit cards, through debit cards, through corporate accounts. They think you have money. They think you work here. They think you're walking out with the money. They think you're going to the bank with the money. They just don't know. If you're able to vary your routine as much as you can, I really highly recommend it. I drive home a different way each day from work. I really do. I literally look outside before I get out to go to my car. I'm a little paranoid. But, it's just something I don't even think about doing. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. But then again, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, because what happened just down the road was a man was being watched. His every move was known, and there were some bad people that came and confronted him. And I would feel terrible if any nice person in this room fell victim to that, okay? And
Were they caught?
yeah, I'm sorry. We have 2 in custody for that. We have a warrant for a 3rd, and that person is somewhere in Chicago. And we want to question a 4th person also in Chicago. Those 2 are on the loose. We had the employee who set it up, her brother, and of course they're saying the one we don't have was the one who pulled the trigger. Okay? And that'll bring me to, if there is an incident, if you are being robbed, it was alleged this gentleman fought back. They're saying he fought back, and that's why he was shot. I can't stress enough, the man at the Motel 8, he fought back. The man at Crosslands, he tried playing a hero and keeping the bad men barricaded. I tell all the banks in this area the same thing. You let the money go, you don't offer up a struggle, because people who just want the money and to get out of there, you're going to scare them into doing something stupid. And again, this this poor man at Brunswick, they didn't go in with the intent of shooting him. Through the interviews, that was not their intent. They just wanted the money. He struggled, he ended up getting shot. If he'd given the bag up and played non-aggressive with them, he would have not been shot. Okay, so if there is an incident, God forbid, let them have what they want. Don't offer up a struggle, and they want to be out of here as much as you want them out here. They don't want a whole big thing, a whole scene, and police attention, certainly. I had a question. I gave a similar speech yesterday. Somebody said, how do we approach a rowdy room full of people? And it's up to you if you want to do that, if you feel comfortable doing that. I gave the example of when I go to a home, when I get dispatched to a domestic dispute, any kind of fight, or even the hotel rooms. I put my ear to the door, I give a listen, see what they're talking about. You can be surprised with what you can hear through a door and what people talk about. It sounds like I heard once a gun being racked, and I was right. So we definitely I pulled back and we got more people to surround the house. That's just my tactical decision. If you want to call us, you can call us, okay? You could also be surprised what you could smell through, okay? If they're smoking something a little funny. That's the police way of doing it. That's the way I was taught. If you feel like you want to give them a warning, and that's up to you. That's fine. And if they're a repeat offender and you feel uncomfortable getting them evicted from the room, they're violating, and you want us there, we'll be happy to. We'll send 2 of us out here. We'll be happy to help you out. And you call, something like that. If you don't feel you need a 911 response, you can call non-emergency. But then again, if you feel these people are unpredictable, whoever they may be, you can call 911 and explain the situation. And whenever you call us, be sure to, if there's a suspicious vehicle out there, and you say, hey, there's a suspicious car, and you don't get much more than that, you probably won't get the response time you're looking for. But if you say, there's a suspicious car, there's 3 people in it, they have their lights off, the car's running, I've been worried about the recent activity within the area, I guess I feel uncomfortable. If you explain it more than just there's a suspicious car, you will get a faster police response.
If we see a suspicious car in the parking lot, whether it's occupied or not, can we give you the place and have you run it? Will you give us detail about that, or?
I think we can. Yeah, I think we can. It'd be up to the dispatcher you talk to. I don't have a problem telling you who owns the car, especially with the Freedom of Information Act. I don't see why not.
Okay.
Really
Then we check our register, see if it is a registered guest.
That's a great point too. And if you explain that, hey, I'd like to save you guys a trip out here, I really don't see a problem with that. But if there is a problem, like you said, I will try to get that changed with our dispatch. Yes, sir.
I had an issue, it was like last year, we had someone begging in the parking lot, and I found the guy's car, and I actually called the police department, and they were like, we can't give you any information. I was like, oh,
Okay.
just so you know.
Joaquin.
Yeah, it was Joaquin, yeah.
Like the way Ms. Trippy said it, I don't see a problem with, I'd like to save you guys a trip out here. Are you able to tell me who owns the car so I can check it through our registered guests? I'll definitely speak with our dispatch about that, okay? And if there's further problems, and I didn't get anything changed, I'm not afraid to go to the chief and say, you've met the chief. He's very concerned about the activity out here, and we can change things. So there's a dummy car.
I was
keeping
just
at the
gonna
bank.
ask,
If you don't mind it being here.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Okay, everybody wants it kind of thing, so I have no favorites, so I'm just trying to bounce it around as much as I can. Chipotle said no, they don't want it there. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Chipotle. People are going there.
So I do just try to get permission before, because when I was off, they put it in the sweet tomatoes lot, and I think Dave is the name, called me like, hey, is everything all right? There's a car here. I'm like, and ask you.